Good morning, good morning, good morning. How we doing, boys and girls? Got a few things to do today. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. Honestly, I've been having a hell of a time waking up. And I think I need to tighten my monitor because it keeps on slipping. Yeah, we'll see how that works for the time being. But that's way too hot. I just made a cup of coffee. Way too hot. Let's get the thing popped out. Alan, good morning. How we doing today, brother? I do have a little experiment to run. So let's see what we can do about that. Let's get this chat loaded up. Alright, yeah, it's working there. Alright, let's get this faded over. There we go. Now, this project involves fire. Let's see what we can do. I might need my butane. Where is it? Okay, well, I guess this won't be as comprehensive as I would like, but no, like seriously though, where's my butane? See, this is the problem with moving. You can't find anything. Oh. So, anyways, long story. See how this keeps just tilting down? I need to do something to tighten the back of this monitor up, because it shouldn't be doing that. Let's see if we start all the way back and see if how long it takes to migrate down. Experiment. This guy. Initially, it went together pretty good, and I had to set it aside. Well, the youngling was playing with it and dropped it a few times. Oh, also refurbished one of my cutting boards for myself. Get this out of the way. So, the thought is, instead of trying to get this to work just based on CA glue, which for one reason or another just isn't holding, you know what? I guess if I tilt my screen all the way back, it doesn't want to migrate. Or it just wants to make a liar out of me, like most technology. So the idea here, anyways, is I'm going to tape this down and melt it and see how that does. I have 3 soldering iron tips, and I think I'm only going to ever use one of them. So the other ones are going to be sacrificial lambs. I'm just going to put a little smattering of blue tape on here to keep things kind of together. And I do have a goal for these. without just looking pretty. I am going to be putting these up for sale after I get them all prettied up and slam some electronics in them. So I'm basically using this guy as the test bed, because you got those nice big large panels that need to get smoothed, and then in the face you have all these little details and stuff that need to find homes. So I mean, that looks, I'm gonna put one over here too, just cause I'll fire things up. So Alan, what projects are you working on recently? I saw you said last week that you had some stuff that you wanted to get done. And then you wanted to get back on the wheel. I really do need to find that butane though, at some point. Coffee too hot? Oh yeah, coffee's still way too hot. I don't want to burn this beautiful face now, do we? That's stuck in my arm. That's rude. Good morning, Ken. How we doing? I love the new paddle design, by the way. Actually, I lied. I have 2 general purpose solder tips. But I got this guy, which kind of looks like a little spade bit kind of thing. So we'll try this one out. And like I said, this is just a test bed anyway, so if I screw it up royally, it doesn't matter all that much. I mean, I'll be a little upset, but now, Ken, you sent me something to share with the class. Let's see if I can pull that up. Is the butane back there? No. I'm only gonna have a couple minutes of burn time then. Oh well. And this is what I get for being unprepared. Now you are in here somewhere. Okay. There's a new paddle design. It's calling it dragon's teeth. Very cool. So, long story short, even though this is just a test bed piece, it's a weird little bump. The idea with these is to make a couple, like 5 or 6, like really high quality versions, and take those down to the local vape shop. But I'm also going to load these up with the appropriate electronics. And I think that's just a good little way to kind of push my limits as a maker. And that's something that I've been fascinated with for almost 2 decades now. And I think it's time that I think I'm at the point where I can start making serious headway on it. Ken, I just poured the base and put the dragons in. Awesome. So you're starting to get real good with your crafting. still hot. But I'm using the drinking the black silk today. So if anyone wants to drink along with me, I recommend adding whiskey. So, my first round with this is, and you can see it with the pink lines, I used a 3D pen to try and go around and weld everything together. After I had glued everything, like the face joints with CA glue, I tried to go back with 3D pen to, and I used it, I think I made a video on it too, where I used it kind of like a welder, slowly melting a bead in front of me, and then, laying in filler material. And I thought it worked fantastically, but clearly it didn't. And this is why I need butane. Because I have the Burns-O-Matic. There we go. We're going to heat it up on 4. And then we will get it cooking. I'll probably drop it down to like 2.5 or 3. This thing gets hot. So the idea with this is I'll fully melt the layers and get them kind of welded on the outside. And hopefully that'll add a bit more impact resistance. Heating up a tip for the first time kind of stinks. But I think this would be a good one with that chisel tip. And I could be completely wrong, by the way. But I think this would be good with the chisel tip, so that I can like smooth with the edges, but also get into details with that chisel. We'll see how it works. Alright, let's take this down to like, let's do 2.5. Let's see if this even works. I might screw this whole thing up. Full disclosure, I have no idea what I'm doing. I think that's the way to go. Stab into it and kind of weld everything together, like get everything melted together that way, and then come back and smooth the layers so that they're. Ow. So it's kind of more of a deep penetrating cohesion. And there's the end of the gas. You know, see some of this pink is that I used as like a welding and stuff. It's just flaking right off as soon as I'm applying heat. So. Yep, and the heat's gone. Not entirely gone, but yeah. Let's see here. Ken, I ordered the part. Did you see the video I posted, the floating bottle with the cauldron? I did not. Let me see if I can go back and check it out. By the way, there is the little Burns-O-Matic. For doing quick things, especially with soldering projects, it's good. However, you saw how long of a burn time I had. So, if you're going to be doing like serious electronics, I don't think I'd get this again. It's kind of cool, but it's also kind of fiddly. Like if you have to do repairs that are like far away from places, this would be great. But since I'm doing everything almost exclusively here, I think I might just transition to especially if this technique works, and I'm able to load up and do these helmets on a regular basis, which is going to imply doing a lot of electronics works and stuff. I think I'm going to switch to a regular soldering iron. I mean, I'll still keep this one loaded in the back pocket, especially when I need to like go out and do things places. But I think with a regular soldering iron, like a traditional one, it would let's see. Most popular news. Oh, so this one. So you got a water pump, a clear, probably a clear stiff tube. Get that on there, and just toss the whole thing in a cauldron. Yep, and kind of feed the wire through. Strange that they have the wire coming up. I would have cut a hole in the side, put the ran the electronics through that, and then filled the hole in with some stuff, hot glue. That way, there's nothing coming out of the cauldron. It would give you a cleaner look. But that is really cool. I actually have a lot of. If you get this to work, let me know which pump you used, because I have a lot of small projects that will require small submersible pumps. There are several adjustments I plan to make. Good. I hope you do. I can't wait to see them. That's actually a really cool project. That's a really cool project. Okay, well, everything's kind of cool to the touch. So let's see how that took. Because the gremlin dropped it several times, and not all of the breaks were actually across the panel lines. Some of them were just along the regular layers. Here that cracked and started stepping down. This cracked underneath the thing here. So yeah, seems like it did its job. It doesn't have that tinny rattle it used to have. I think we did it. That little trick is gonna make me a bunch of money. It's gonna take a long time to get everything put together, because that is not the quickest thing on earth. Well, I guess using the thing as a welder wasn't exactly quick either. I need to find my butane. Now I really need to find it, because I worked and the thing's out. Let's see. Couldn't find the black bottle, so I plan to paint the bottle black so you can't see the liquid recycling. Yeah, I think the more opaque you can get it, the better it'll look. Because you want that whole mechanism to completely disappear as as it's filling and such. That is a cool little project. And I kind of like the black, by the way, I kind of like the black silk. I think it's Folgers. I think it's Folgers. Is it Maxwell House? I don't know. It's in the red. It's the red one. Folgers is blue. Maxwell House is red, I think. Unless it changed. I don't know. But it's almost... Either way, it's almost too abrasive. Like it's smooth, but it wants to be not. I just got a small bottle because I plan on getting myself a bean grinder and either getting one or making one. Who knows? And I think I'm going to switch over to using almost exclusively black and brass because I don't drink a lot of coffee at home. So I might as well drink good coffee, you know? I have, what, 1, sometimes 2 cups if I'm feeling dangerous. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go for the premium from here on out. I need to find a butane. I mean, I had it here just a couple days ago because I had to resolder the lights up here. It kept falling down, and during the move, I ripped this outer light band here, which actually is the worst one to rip because that one connects to this light band. Oh, you can't see it, but the light band that's under the French cleat, that gives me that second point of lighting, which is way more crucial and critical than the top-down lighting. This is just kind of general lighting, kind of not really spotlighting, but kind of like spotlighting. But this strip here, that goes along the base, that's the one that gets rid of all your shadows. And let me tell you, if you have a lot of detail work to do, or if you have trouble seeing lines that you're trying to cut, something like this is a setup like this is fantastic. I actually did a video on doing a quick DIY version where I used some pipe strapping, and I made a loop that went slightly, like if you're sitting perpendicular to the desk, right? So instead of having it 90 degrees up as it arced over my head, I had it like 5 degrees back. That was one. And then I had a second one at 45 degrees in front of me. And they were both 2 loops that had, there's actually these dimmable LEDs. That's why they don't stick to anything. Because I ripped them off. They were adhered, then I ripped them off, and then I put them up here, and I didn't seal this as well as I should have. So it is what it is. Yeah. But anyways, a setup like that where you have, 2 bands of light at different angles really helps to get rid of shadows and stuff, and allows you to be a lot more precise and see exactly what you need. I do think your lighting in the new place is better, much better. Yes, it is, and that's a virtue from not being in a basement. Also, and this was a problem with the basement, as well as here. If I take the workstations that have the 3D printer, the Cricut, and the laser on it, and I rotate it 90 degrees this way, like I did when I had, when I was in a basement, I would cut off that light source that's up there, that you see shining on this side of my face, and that would darken things up quite a bit. It would still be much brighter than it was, and not as bright or as nice as the place before that, which most of this furniture was designed to go into that room. Speaking of that, it's actually nice that, like, I can design furniture and build it that doesn't shit the bed after one move like IKEA stuff does. That is a really cool project. Time to go to work. See you next week. All right, Kenny, you take care, brother. I definitely don't want to know what water pump you end up using, though, because I have a plan, and I'm not sure where I'm going to put it in here. But I really, really, really want to do a living wall, which, in short, is basically kind of a thin cabinet, right? It's about that. About that thick, and you can either do a waterfall cabinet or a moss cabinet with that. The moss cabinet is a little bit more complex, so we'll say the waterfall cabinet. Basically, it's a continuous waterfall. So you have a trough at the bottom, right? You have a trough at top, and you just let this, you put in your facing. So you have your back, you have a small void, and then you have your facing, whatever you want the waterfall to run on. Now I'm thinking, that wall right there looks like it's a prime candidate. And the idea is it gives you a nice relaxing, noise in the background, but it also gives you excess humidity in the air. Unfortunately, all the heating for this place, even though I don't know if you can see any radiators or not, there's steam radiators here, but all this hydrostatic stuff has been taken out, and they replace it with all electric heat, which will be fine, except for the fact that it will dry the air out like you won't believe. So I want to do a moss wall, and I want to do a moss cabinet or a living cabinet and a waterfall cabinet. Now the moss cabinet is basically the same thing, except you have to get chicken wire involved. You have to get chicken wire involved, and then you have to plant your moss on it. Now, the good thing about the moss cabinet is it does two things for you. Yes, you get that humidity from it, but you don't get the you don't get the sound of the falling water. Instead, what ends up happening is the moss will help clean your air and purify your air. So I'm thinking, and here's the thing I want to do with it, because I have to be extra. That's already a pretty extra project, but I have to really bump it up, What I want to do is have it triggered so that when you open it, it sprays the face of the moss as well. And I want to put some LED lights in there. Not necessarily grow lights, but just something to make it pretty. Something that I can control from my phone and put just a glimmer, because I want to have the panels, because it's a cabinet, you can close it. I'm going to laser cut the panels, and I want them to be kind of pretty. I'm not sure what kind of pattern I want to go with. I'm kind of vacillating between like a Gothic pattern and kind of like an Islamic pattern. Doesn't have to be either, because if I do like panels, I could do, depending on how many panels I put in there, I could cut out plywood and inset the panels and have whatever scenes or whatever I want in there. So maybe I could do like mythology and stuff. Maybe I'll do it Viking themed. I don't know. But I do know that it's going to be fun. It's going to be an expensive project. They both are. And they're both going to have similar motifs, because I like having continuity throughout my environment, at least as much as I can. Right now, the level of continuity is well, mess, scatterbrained. We're getting there. I'm getting a lot done. What was that? A random piece of something. I'm getting a lot done. I'm getting a lot moved and pushed into the places where it needs to be, and I got a lot of things unpacked already. So I'm making progress in the right direction. It's just slow because I still have to work. I still have to do Knightsmith. And when I have little man around, I still have to still take care of him. And of course, I can't let myself starve or whatever. So there's a lot of limitations, but I think I'm working through them at a pretty good clip. What do you think? I mean, you can only see what you see here, so it could look like a bomb dropped over there, or it could look like the Taj Mahal, and you'd never know. And Ken sent a photo. Ooh! 95 gallons per hour. 5-watt mini submersible water pump for aquarium, fish tank, pond, fountain, hydroponics. We got that one there. Let's see if I can make it focus. So I'll be very curious as to how that worked out for you. 5 gallons per hour is way more than I need. Yeah, well, let's see how the analytics are doing for this, because they're probably not doing too well. I have a feeling. I had 4 people watching at one point, so that's good. And no one currently watching, so I'm just going to ramble on to myself until it disappears. This disappears. I run my timeout. I need to get Facebook back on this computer. I logged out by accident, and I have no idea how to get it back on. Because they're saying to text my phone. And I send the text to my phone so I can reset my password, but they're not letting me in. They're not, well, it's not that they're not letting me in, they're just not sending the text in the first place. Which is really quite unfortunate. Maybe if I add an email to my account, I can have them send me an email as opposed to a text, because they can't figure that out for some reason. Which I don't know why. It's not that hard. That technology has existed for quite a while, texting people. I thought so, at least. Maybe I'm nuts. hands, for whatever reason, have been feeling incredibly dry recently. Like, I oil myself every day. There's no reason my hands should always feel dry, but they do. I do like using this. Now, I usually use like a Palmer's body oil, but I really enjoy the smell of this teak wood by Bath and Body. They just have really good. I mean, it works all right. I've had better, I've had worse. This one works all right, but I love the smell. It just smells so nice. But I kind of think we're rounding up on the hour. I'm definitely going to find my butane tonight, or go buy some more, and do this whole helmet on the outside, like this. I am going to have to resand it, and I kind of thought that was going to be the case anyways. But I have to resand it just to get rid of all these higher pips. But I'm going to go over every seam with this new technique. And it will probably elevate this project much higher than it should be, or has any right to be. And then I also need to figure out how to do a visor for this guy. I'm not exactly sure how to make something fit in there that would be appropriate. But I mean, those are all problems for future Chris. So I got the Death Trooper. And I have on deck, I have a Space Marine, Doom, and I have a list somewhere. So I got Death Trooper, Space Marine, Doom, and there's one more that I really want. Oh, I want to do a Spartan helmet. I'm not sure which Spartan helmet, but I want to do a Spartan helmet. And I'm going to make all these available once they're finished. They're going to be available at Union Vapors with a large price tag on them. Because I can. Basically. Well, it's not going to be just a 3D print, which is the thing. It's going to be a semi-functional helmet. Now, it is 3D printed, so it's not going to be ballistically rated, but it'll have, I'm going to put some communication stuff in it, probably a radio, to be honest. I'm going to put lights in it. I'm going to put fans in it. I'm going to have, for my paintball helmet, it actually has two fans that blow across your visor, which is really nice. And then you have another fan that you can turn on, so that'll bring in fresh air and defog your visor. And you have another fan that blows out, which sucks the air out. So that'll suck a lot of the heat and a lot of the humidity, the latent moisture that you produce by just wearing a helmet. That'll suck that out, and then that fresh air across the visor, beautiful. I would like to put in a microphone and speaker so that you can speak through it, not just yell through that medium, because it's awful. Trying to do that. But yeah, it would be nice to have a some sort of a communication system in there. It'd be nice to have a microphone and speaker in there that you can turn on and turn off, so that it acts like it's a real, regular helmet. So yeah, I have a lot of plans. I have a lot of things to do, a lot of plans, because I really want to utilize that 3D printer to its fullest, and I really haven't been yet. And yeah, I've made, little clips and hangers for like Christmas lights. I've made shelf brackets and useful things, but I need that thing to make me money. I think doing a project like this is the best way to make that happen. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much the hour. I have another long day today, so I am gonna get to it, and hopefully throughout my travels I find some butane. That's been the theme today. Find the butane. I know I have it here somewhere. It couldn't have gotten far. It's not a big place. In the meantime, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week. I'm gonna try and do this weekly, start doing this weekly again, because I really missed it. I love talking to you guys, and it's just kind of fun to have an hour dedicated every week that I just stop everything, sit down, talk to you, work on some crafts, instead of just doing my regular routine of, I don't have a regular routine, and that's just me sitting down, slamming down, getting as much work done as I can, and running away and doing something else. This lets me slow down. It forces me to slow down, and consider things, kind of show things off, and it's good. It's healthy, I think, maybe. Anyways, like I said, see you next week. I'm going to be doing this weekly from here on out, to the best of my ability. And I'm going to try and get back into video editing. So regular videos will start coming up. I have a few things to do. Like I want to get a privacy screen for over there. I'm going to be building that. I'm going to be building, some more beds and all the other stuff. All the stuff. So, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. I really do. And thank you for making this world better. One credit at a time, and I'll see y'all next week.